toasting me. I'm wishing on a star to make more time to see. You can always dream. You can't put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. You can always dream. No one's taken that from you. Only you can see it through, just like the way you do. So feed it from your soul and weigh it from both sides. The fulcrum and the tides will give direction that you'll know. You can always dream. You can't put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming. When you make the time, it's a game of give and take. When the balance is at stake, you need to take a look inside. Look deep into your heart and remember how it feels. It's where the answer lies and tells you what is real. You can always dream. You can't put your life on hold, 'cause time won't wait for you. You can always see what is here in the now, and then you'll find out how to keep dreaming.
Good morning, Celebration Center, and welcome to this time where we gather and commune with one another and spark each other to think new thoughts. So we had a great pre-service discussion today. If you're ever in the area and we're having one, you're invited to be here around the table with us, and we'd be happy to welcome you. I am Reverend Faith Woods, and I am your host and practitioner today. And if you're online, I invite you to say hello into the chat, and if you would like to be on our mailing list, you can give us information for that. If you have any comments, our tech crew will put them up on the board for us to see as we go through this meeting. So I'm going to do a rundown of who's who today in this meeting, and we'll give them applause after. We'll do one big round of applause. How's that? So we have a service plan for you that is good in every way, and we want to thank our awesome tech crew, Ivor and Arav, and we want to thank me for being here, host and practitioner, and Lynn Hollyfield, and the pop-up choir is with us today, and that's really, really special, and all is well. So let's just thank everyone. Oh, and our speaker. Our wonderful speaker today is Harrison Snow, and I have to be careful of that because I like to call him Harrison Ford sometimes. But Harrison Snow is our speaker, yes, and you do deserve a round of applause. And so now I would like to invite our music crew up, Lynn and the pop-up choir.
We have more pop-ups today. So if you're able, please stand and join us in singing our opening song, I Start My Day by Karen Drucker. I start my day with love, I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. I start my day with love, I start my day with love, that's what I get more of is love. Love, 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 love. Love, love, love. I start my day with peace. When I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. When I start my day with peace, when I start my day with peace, I feel that sweet release of peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace, peace, peace. Peace. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. I start my day with joy. When I start my day with joy, everything I do is infused with joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release. I start my day with love. I start my day with peace. I start my day with joy. I feel that sweet release. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love.
Thank you, Lynn. Let's give these people some love for being willing to stand up here and sing with us. And again, welcome everyone. It's time for us to think of our vision statement and our time of why we're really here and what this is all about. So if you would please say the vision state with me. Our vision is to awaken humanity to its spiritual magnificence. That was part of our conversation this morning, I think, really. How do we awaken to who we are? How do we awaken? And how do I find what I wanted to read? Here we go. Our guide, I'm reading from August 31st, so I'm skipping ahead a bit. In the Science of Mind magazine, we've had fear on the menu this week, and we've had courage on the menu this week, and how it speaks to how fear relates to our lives in so many ways. This is titled Fear as Your Teacher. Courage is not the absence of fear, but rather the judgment that something else is more important. Something else is more important. When I read that, I had a flashback to the time there was a plane that crashed into the Potomac River, and a man jumped in. It was freezing cold, it was icy, and a man jumped in and saved a woman. And they wanted to make a hero of him, and he said, "I'm not a hero. I'm not a hero. I just did something that needed to be done." So they called it courage, and he called it reacting to something that needed to be done. So we go on to here, we all experience fear. Some say it's one of our most powerful emotions, particularly when we experience growth or change in our lives. It's unhealthy to avoid our fears, but we can use them as learning tools also. Those who experience rapid times of growth and transformation use fear as a tool for feedback rather than something that stops them in their tracks. So it really is a matter of one time after another when we experience fear, how we react to it. And it's a common thing that is in all of our lives, I believe. And we have people who help us work through that in many different ways. The other thing, before we go into prayer, I've been reminding myself and others this week, as Emily Dickinson said, I dwell in possibility. I dwell in possibility. So let's just take a moment and settle into our seats, feet on the floor, or settle in wherever you are. Take that breath that brings us together as spirit working through each one of us, that goes through our body, temples, head to toe, fingers. Nothing is omitted from this breath. And it's almost as though we feel the space between us begin to tingle with aliveness when we remember that there is only one, only spirit. There is a connection between everyone and everything that we can even imagine. We are so much more than this physical body, this encapsulated in this flesh that we see and hear. So as I speak of that one, there are words that come forth like love and peace and truth and beauty. There are words like where me and you fade away into one. It's a time when we imagine that all is truly well at a level that we cannot always experience, but we can understand in our hearts that all is truly well. And so as I speak this word for this service today, I know that we are blessed with music, with songs, with technology, with understandings that come forth through each person here in one way or another. if it's just a look, a smile, a hug, if it's a word, it doesn't matter how it comes about, it does come about. I claim that, and I claim for those online that hearing the words and being here with us, there is an energy that is coming to you and to us. We are all blessed by this time together. And so I speak a word of this knowing, continuing with us through this service time and into the rest of our day, that we do sing peace, we do sing love, we do sing connection. All of those things come through us and from us, and it is received by others. I give thanks for this. I am grateful for so much. And I know that if we started down that gratitude path, the list is endless. And so I just speak yes to Spirit working in our lives. I release these words, knowing them to be true, knowing them to be in the environment here and now. And so it is. And we're now blessed with the music from Lynn and the Pop-Up Choir. Are they here with us on every song?
Yes.
Yay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, we're going to share, is this on? Going to share a song by a duo called Mamuse, and it's called Hallelujah. Every time I feel this way, this old familiar sinking, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. It's been said, and I do believe, as you ask, so shall you receive. So take from me these troubles, bring me sweet release, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. There is a river in this heart of hearts, with a knowingness of my highest good. I am willing, I will do my part, where the river will never run dry. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. Hallelujah. I'm gonna let myself be lifted. By and by, I will lay my troubles down by the water, where the river will never run dry. Where the river will never run dry. This river will never run dry.
Didn't we say we had a great time planned for you today? Was that really good or what? Let's give them some more. I love it. I love it. I love it. And here we are with a meaningful, some words of wisdom coming from Harrison Snow. This is a man who has worked with constellation work, if you're familiar with that. He has written a book. He works with companies and industries to have them come together in ways of understanding. So he's a powerhouse in and of himself, and he's been with us for 33 years now, so we've watched him grow up a little bit. And we welcome to the stage Harrison Snow.
Oh, thank you. Wow, what a lovely introduction, and what an inspiring. I'm already inspired getting up here. So, things that Faith has said, and the beautiful pop-up choir and Lynn. Oh my gosh! So, really a joy and an honor to be with you today. Could you hear me okay?
Yeah, just make sure
We're doing all right? All right, looks like in the back I'm getting from the tech crew we're doing okay, so hopefully things are copacetic. You know, we're going to talk about community today, right? Community and building community. And just looking around the room, you know, this is a community. This is a gathering of hearts, gathering of love, a gathering of differences and yet sameness, universality. And so I want to explore that theme a little bit. I loved what Faith said about possibilities, that field of possibilities Emily Dixon talked about. And how do we get to that field? How do we live in that field? We'll talk a little bit about that. Interesting thing, I was reminded of an incident that happened here this morning. I didn't make the meeting talking about beliefs, but I came in towards the end, and it was a beautiful feeling in the room. People were sharing from a deep, deep place of the heart. And we used to have a different, same kind of meeting where we talked about beliefs, but we did it after our gathering here. And we called it Let's Talk About God. Remember that? We talked about. So one time after the service, I was talking to someone who had just come for the first time. And I said, oh, in a few minutes, you know, after the introductions, in a couple of minutes, we're going to start a little conversation off to the side here. Let's talk about God. You're welcome to come. The look of horror on her face was priceless. She backed away. It was like out of a classic horror movie. You know, oh my God, no. Like I'd really made the most indecent proposal you could have thought of. And she was gone, out the door. So what's pretty amazing about being a metaphysician, as we all are here in this room, is we can talk about God, or we can talk about spirituality or source or metaphysics or neurobiology. We can use any of that language to talk about how do we become more whole and free and loving. It doesn't really matter. You know, in the Bible, Christ liveth my life, said St. Paul. Jesus said, Father and I are one. But we can also talk about it in terms of, hey, my brain waves, I have more theta, and there's more coherence and harmony between different spheres of the brain. I mean, you can talk about these states in using a lot of different language. And that's the great thing about it. We don't have to, be caught up in any one particular association. One word or phrase doesn't work for you. You just go to something else. So, here's something about science of mind principles. Have you ever noticed they're pretty easy to apply when things are going well, right? You're here in this community, people are warm and loving, and yeah, we can all agree about science of mind principles. How about out in the world? How's it going there? In traffic, or dealing with difficult people, or hearing the news, or going through an area where there's been trauma, collective, individual. How about them applying those principles? Is that easy? Not necessarily, right? That's a real test. But that's where we need them most. That's where they really come in handy. That's where it's most meaningful to our growth, our movement towards wholeness. And that's where we see the parts of ourselves that maybe aren't so integrated, that show up. right? That we're not so in love with in others or ourselves. And I want to, since we're a community here, I'm kind of going to give a report card on myself, maybe a back to office report on myself. How am I doing, 33, 35 years with these principles? How am I doing applying them out there in the world? And I had a recent experience I want to talk about that kind of illustrates that, those ideas. And I hope I can do it in about 10, 12 minutes without going over time. So bear with me if I seem to rush through a little bit. But some of you know, many of you know, I've been section hiking the Appalachian Trail, and I recently was on the trail for almost 2 weeks down in Tennessee, eastern Tennessee. And it is lovely down there. It's just a spectacular, beautiful area. And a good time to be on the trail. There weren't many other people there. The weather's not too hot or too cold. But, there are things that happen in the environment where I was hiking, and there are things that showed up, and I found it challenging at times. Beautiful and serene, but also things that, can make me wonder about, okay, how am I doing applying this? And so it's really about how do we use these incidences, these conditions, that can seem adverse and can seem difficult or challenging. How do we use them and hold them in a way that help us grow? And because we're all connected, right? We are a community, not only in this community, but there's a larger world community, and we look at what's going on in Ukraine or in Nepal or things like that. We're connected to that too. I think I like the John Donne, the English poet, 16th century. Remember what he said? No man is an island entire of itself. Every man is a piece of the continent, a part of the main. If a cloud be washed away by the sea, Europe is the less, as well as if a promontory were, as well as if a manner of thy friends. Any man's death diminishes me, because I'm involved in mankind, and therefore never send to know for whom the bell tolls, it tolls for thee. Well, that's maybe a little somber backdrop, but we are connected. And one of the things I noticed, and I hiked a good bit of the trail, is when I was hiking through Tennessee, there was some difficult feelings there. Now, this is the area where the Trail of Tears started, when the Cherokees were banished to Oklahoma, right? And the land kind of remembers that. This is where the Civil War was really difficult because the Reunion living and sympathizers and Confederate sympathizers living side by side. So a very difficult time for the locals living there. And my family, actually, I have ancestors who went through that and have family stories about the trials and traumas that they suffered. So that's still in the environment, and there's a certain, you can kind of see it the way people, when you talk to them, some people really don't trust the government, really come up with some stories that are kind of like, well, I don't think that's possibly true, but I see that you believe it. So there is some of that there. But one thing that struck me most was, and I got driven around a fair bit to go to different trailheads and leave my car in one place, and the person driving me through the little valleys and stuff would point out, well, there's where all these houses were before Helene hit, and there's where all the building industry was before Helene hit, and then it was wiped away by the big floods. And people there still refer to it as kind of biblical. It was biblical, the amount of catastrophe there. So there's that trauma in the environment. And hiking the trail, there's huge swaths of the trail that were just leveled. The big trees were just leveled. And they've done a great job clearing the trail, huge job. But the forest has a feeling to it, like when I was camping into it, almost of sadness. Well, it was kind of sad. The trees remembered when they were all growing and happy, and now a lot of them are not. And I noticed, whereas a lot of times I have expansive, happy thoughts, I noticed, gosh, I'm feeling despair and angst, and I'm having a lot of ruminations about, well, why did that person say that, and that wasn't fair, and this happened some years ago, but I'm still not over it. And that kept coming up. So this is a little unusual for me. And I had to think, well, is this my stuff? Is this the collective trauma in the environment? Is this old family trauma that was there 150 years ago, 100 years ago? Where's this, where's the source? And it might have been all of them. It might all have contributed. So what do? As metaphysicians, what do? Well, we pray. Well, pray, okay. So I was chanting, and I was saying different affirmations, and I was opening up to the universe and asking for Divine Mother, Divine Father, asking for help, releasing, letting go. And I did that pretty much all day long for days on end, because this stuff would keep coming up. Boom. If I relax, all of a sudden realize, wow, I'm caught in a thought loop, and it's a pretty negative thought loop. And that's not really what I want to be here. Because we know what we dwell on grows stronger in our life. And if we dwell on negativity and resentment and angst and that sort of thing, I mean, sure, that can come up and we can release it and let it flow through us. But we don't want to stay with it. We don't want to, engage with negativity and be overshadowed by it and just stay with it, right? Entertain it, kind of go with it. So it was helpful. It was helpful to do that. And I would kind of clear that thought form, that thought structure, and then come back to, okay, noticing the beauty around me and feeling the joy of the surroundings that were inherent in being out in the woods. Like, bad day fishing is better than a good day at the office kind of thing. So that was interesting and helpful. And but something more was needed, something a little bit more. And I'm going to jump ahead and say, remember what Nellie talked about several weeks ago? She talked about Eddie. What was Eddie's name? Eddie. Let me look it up. Anyway, a young Jewish woman wrote a book, a journal of her life under Nazi occupation in Holland, and how she was meeting that terrible adversity. And she met it with such grace, such openness. Like, she did not let the negativity and terror and fear overshadow her experience of God consciousness or inner awareness or love or spaciousness. She constantly stepped back and chose a higher thought, a higher feeling, and drew strength from that, drew capacity to encourage and support others as well as herself, was able to not only love what was the others, even though they were her perpetrators, was able to love herself in all of that. And so there was something about that, if you read her book, Life Interrupted, about how the perpetrators were actually her partners, because the contrast was so great between what the ideal behavior and human behavior and the actual behavior, and the space that she found in inner awareness. You could call it non-duality, you could call it God, you could call it pure consciousness, you call it whatever you want, source, nirvana, however words you want to use. The contrast between the two was so great that she could see the choice she could make. She could not overshadowed by the negativity. She could see that place, that field that Rumi says, I'll meet you there in that field beyond right making and wrong making. The truth is, there is a powerful field within us that is beyond all the craziness in the world. That is a place that is not changing. That is a place of love and bliss and peace that actually the world arises from, the place of duality arises from, with all the opposites. But it is greater, stronger, more magnificent if we are able to see it and choose it, all right? Instead of choosing our reactivity and pain and getting carried away with that and identifying with that. Step back and hold it all in awareness. Bring awareness to the thought process and decide, okay, where do I want to live out? Where do I want to live from? Where do I want to act from? Do I want to act from my fears, my pain, my shame, the humiliation happening? Or do I want to act from this magnificent place within me of peace, power, and all possibility? So there are people that have shown us the way to meet adversity and to use adversity to help them gain more wholeness and awareness. So what happened, all right? So I was thinking about this and this whole dynamic, and okay, how can I really apply that? How can I find that gap in the duality that's so overwhelming and rest in the non-duality, that place of ultimate strength and possibility, and look and see, is there a reason to react? Is there a reason to come from fear or pain or angst or resentment and so forth? And every time you look, according to the sages and the mystics, if you really look within, you'll find a place of peace and joy that is true freedom. You don't need to react with anger. So here I am. I'm up in a place called the Beauty Spot, and beautiful place up on top of the mountain. And unfortunately, or fortunately, there's a parking lot nearby. People drive up, and they come and they hike and watch the sunset. It's kind of a big party thing. Mostly young people, kind of coming out from a local college to watch the sunset, kind of a lover's lane, but also other people too, and families. So anyway, I get there and I set up my tent and I'm enjoying the beauty of it all, and then I get tired and I get in my tent and I'm kind of just resting there. And I hear these guys outside the tent nearby, and they start taunting me. I don't even know if I'm in the tent, but they were saying stuff. And I'm laying there and I'm kind of going, you know how you could, someone's really trying to get your goat and trying to start a fight, right? Really, or trying to provoke something, kind of tough locals or whatever, kind of coming from that kind of culture that provokes fights. And I'm getting, I'm not going to be, I'm starting to smoke coming out of my ears, and I started to think, I'm going to come out of that tent and I'm going to pick those guys up and I'm going to toss them off this mountain because, I'm not putting up with it. So, but then I remember, stop, remember, choose. Okay, that's coming from anger, fear. Anger and fear go hand in hand. Behind the anger is fear, right? Is that where I want to come from? And let me look for that other place, that place of non-duality, because that place does not come from judgment. God doesn't judge. It doesn't come from vengeance. That's not the point. Doesn't come from resentment, doesn't come from, oh, you hurt my feelings, or whatever. It doesn't really have a dog in that fight. Doesn't really want to get entangled in that rodeo. It's a different reality. Socrates said to the oligarchy that was going to sentence him to death, well, you can kill me, but you can never hurt me. Why do you say that? You can never hurt me. Well, his true self is beyond that. His soul is beyond that. He's right. Yeah, they can do something to the body, but the true magnificence of who I am is not touchable by the human condition. So anyway, I found some constraint. Didn't jump out of the tent, and the guys wandered away. And as I sat there and felt into my reactivity, I realized, well, there really is no reason to react, to come from anger or pain. And I felt, as I held that space, rested in that space, a tremendous sense of freedom. Like, who cares what those guys think? I don't need to change them or redeem them. I mean, yeah, sure, I can send them love in their ignorance, but that's not really my problem, kind of thing. I don't know. So it was, anyway, a tremendous sense of freedom. And the Buddhists talk about that as fetters, letting go of your ill will and reactivity, not being run by it. So a little bit of thought, bringing it all to summary. That's available to all of us, not to act from our fear, our pain, our resentment, but to hold the line for a minute and question, where do I really want to come from? Where does God come from? And that field of non-duality, what is that like? And take a look within and see, and follow that guidance, that higher intelligence. So here's a note from a guardian angel, kind of sum up our talk here this morning. And I saw this somewhere, someone sent it, I figured it was from a guardian angel. Here's how it goes. Dear human, you got it all wrong. You didn't come here to master unconditional love. That's where you came from and where you'll return. You came here to learn personal love, universal love, messy love, sweaty love, crazy love, broken love, whole love, infused with divinity. Live through the grace of stumbling, demonstrated through the beauty of messing up. Often. You didn't come here to be perfect. Good thing to remember. Didn't come here to be perfect. You already are. You came here to be gorgeously human, flawed and fabulous, and then to rise again into remembering. Remembering who you really are. So, nice message from your guardian angel to remember and to live from. And so I'm going to draw it to a close, but say a little, I guess we'll say a little prayer. Is that all right, everybody? Is that all right? And do you want to see a couple of pictures of that trail? You want to see a couple of pictures? Do we have time for that? I don't want to bore you. All right, well, we'll throw a couple of pictures up there and just to show you the beauty of where I was. It was really spectacular. You know, I don't know if we can do that. All right, there we go. You can see the Rhone Highlands. You can see these big balls have been there for thousands of years. They're nature-made, not man-made. And you see, you know, hiking along, how expansive that is, about 6,000 feet. A little chilly at night, but expansive. Next picture. See what else we got here. Oh, we saw that one. Is there another one? And you can see, again, the trail a little bit better, the trail from one mountain to another. How they connect and link. Really spectacular country, open country. Up here at the higher altitude, I didn't notice nature unhappy. Nature was pretty happy and expanded. Next picture. Another view from my hiking poles, and this is at the very top of a mountain. It's got the name there, but I can't read it. But you can see how the balls connect in the distance. Another picture. We can throw another one up. This is some of the damage. You can see, I don't know if you can really tell, but just how, you know, trees fell everywhere. What normally would have been a full forest, it really got hit pretty hard. Lower down on the slopes. And from Helene. Next picture. That's me at sunset on top of grassy ridge, 6,200 feet. I camped the night. And just spectacularly beautiful. And any other pictures? Is that it? Oh, there's the tent where I had my little visit up on the beauty spot, and everywhere you looked was a lot of beauty. And that T-shirt smelled so bad I left it outside the tent. Okay, all right. Is that it? Is there any other? Oh, a sunset up on the beauty spot. How lovely the sunset was. Okay, thank you. So, oh yeah, nice. You can hold the applause. So let's take a breath. And let's settle down. Life throws so much at us, so much back and forth, up and down, and yet there is a bigger aspect of life that is who I am. It's a spiritual aspect, but it's so much more than my mind can comprehend. And yet, when I gather with friends and community, we touch into, when nature, in prayer, we touch into this field, this vast, endless field of peace and plenitude, of knowing without the mind, knowing in the heart. knowing the flow of love, the flow of surrender, a sense of well-being that goes beyond any condition that cannot be overcome by the world, no matter how the world might challenge it. This truth of who I am is never touched, is never overcome. It is invincible. It is always resolute. And I rest there knowing I'm supported by infinite intelligence, infinite love, infinite space and freedom. That's what I came here for, to live that from that place, and to love from that place, and to share from that place, and to be one in that place with myself and all others. And so with great, great gratitude, I walk through life, finding opportunities everywhere I look to feel gratitude and to share love and peace and joy. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you, Harrison. That was really wonderful talk. We're going to share, this is a song I found actually from you. Well, you had told me about the group Playing for Change, and what this group does is they take musicians from all around the world, and they'll lay down some bass track, and then people are adding in their parts, and they videotape them, and it's just the most beautiful collaboration that happens. And this song I found there, and it's called A Better Place.
Is a melody that helps us shine on. If you feel it through the music, we can make this world a better place. Freedom and justice is a melody that helps us shine on. If you feel it through the music, we can make this world a better place. Live together, love forever, it's the only thing that we can do. Hold my hand, by me stand. We are gonna make it through. Freedom and justice is a melody that helps us shine on. If you feel it through the music, we can make this world a better place. All humans, all beings, we know that we are all the same. Different colors, different nations, we are one now, let us sing. Freedom and justice is the melody that helps us shine on. If you feel it through the music, we can make this world a better place. Freedom and justice is a melody that helps us shine on. If you feel it through the music, we can make this world a better place. We can make this world a better place. One more time. We can make this world a better place.
All right, let's collectively give Harrison and the pop-up choir another round. This is really good. Thank you. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling the energy, and I hope you are too, just a little bit. I don't see anyone asleep yet, so that's a good thing. That's a good thing. This is a time to welcome the guests, but we don't have anyone in person here. If you are new to us online and would like us to give you a hearty shout out, please put your name in the chat and we'll get it up here. As you're doing that, meantime, we'll talk about our giving options, because this is the time when we can say, yes, this place is worth it. And we give of our time and our talents and so many ways to give. And I would like for you to say our affirmation with me. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I do give thanks that this is so, and so it is. And so it is. So we have many ways to give, and one of them is the basket on the table for those people in person. And you can give online through the QR code or go online with the donate button, and you can find our mailing address online if you'd like to send in a check. And we accept all of those ways, and we give thanks for all of the ways that people can give and do. Also, where's my next page? I lost my next page. Announcements. Oh, okay. August is over almost, right? August is almost over. We're into September, and we're going to have the second week in September. We have our cookies and conversation. And I want you to know that we had talked about briefly having a picnic that day, but we've moved that to October possibility. So stay tuned for a real-life picnic in the park. That sounds good to me. And do we have other slides for announcements? We have our monthly healing circle on the first Sunday. That would be next Sunday. So you're welcome to join us after service. It's based on the Power of 8 group. And we have something in the circle, an intention that we gather together. The Tuesday night group has been going on for 3 years? 5 years now. So every Tuesday night for 5 years, basically, Jen and I are on Zoom with a group of people who do the Power of 8 Healing Circle, and would love to have you join us. So you go to celebrationcenter.org and hit the Zoom button, and you're in our group. Okay, that's it for announcements right now, unless someone has something that I forgot. But I have this, Michael Zawadzki sent out a poem yesterday, I think it was, and it fits right in with what Harrison was saying today. So I'm going to read it. It's really short. It's by Bridget Anna McNeil. If you're not on the announcements list, you get things like this from Michael once a day, a thought. This poem says, "What happens to us enters the body. It leaves marks. It alters the grain of who we are. Nothing passes through existence untouched in the wild. Being shaped is not the same as being lessened. Trees bend with the wind and bear its imprint. Stone carries the memory of water and force. Seeds split open because they must. I have been changed by what I have lived through. I carry its marks and have been opened by it. Made different by experience. But I refuse to be reduced by it. The earth carries its scars as part of its becoming, and so do I. And that, my friend, kind of summarizes, I think, what Harrison was saying today, too, and what we talked about in our pre-group. This is a full circle. This is a full circle. Do we have another song? Yes. Okay. You guys get up here, please.
You could stay up and sing with us.
Do I know it?
Yeah. This is, let's see, put the second page there, it's just what's in bold.
Okay.
Okay, so we're gonna share the song "Get Together" by the Youngbloods. So if you would stand and sing with us, we'd love that. Love is but a song to sing, fears is the way we die. You can make the mountains ring, or make the angels cry. Though the bird is on the wing, you may not know why. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Some may come and some may go, we will surely pass. In the time that we are here, love will help us last. We are but a moment of sunlight fading in the grass. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. If you hear the song I sing, you will understand. We hold the key to love and fear, all in our loving hand. Just one key unlocks them both, and they're at our command. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Come on, people now, smile on each other, everybody get together, try to love one another right now. Right now, right now.
All right, let's go for our affirmation. Are you ready? I dwell in possibility.
I dwell in possibility.
I dwell in possibility of love and truth and beauty.
I dwell in possibility of love and truth and beauty.
And I remember that.
And I remember.
And so it is.
Remember who
And
I am.
so it is.